There was once a Minecrafter called Dr. Rock. He decided to start an LP and share his creation with the world, with the hope that he could inspire others to do the same. His LP began with a set of rules. Many were designed to temper progression and allow a more relaxed and slow-paced style of gameplay. He felt that this was what the world needed right now: a new hero, one demonstrating the age-old adage, "Slow and steady wins the race." The foremost rule was not to abuse villager trading, as is so easy to do. As such, he was not allowed to get mending. Is the reward not richer if you have suffered to get it? Over time, his tools began to break, his armor got damaged, and his resolve got stronger. But every man has a limit, even the good doctor. After killing the Ender Dragon, he acquired some tools with mending in end cities. But there was one item that he could not find with that specific enchantment. One day, Dr. Rock decided that the only way to solve this problem was to go out into the world and find an enchanted book with mending on it. This is the story of that adventure. Please sit back and enjoy, for this video does not document tragedy, nor is it a cautionary tale. It is simply a video about a man, or perhaps something more, racing through a blocky world to find a magic book. Don't overthink it. The first stronghold proved a disappointment. Whilst the dig-down was straightforwards, the structure itself was highly disrupted. Cut by lush caves and winding tunnels, the navigation was difficult. Finding both libraries became a chore. Once discovered, it became quickly apparent that each was filled with trash. I mean, who needs multi-shot or looting too? The mending book went undiscovered. There was only one course of action: seek out the remaining stronghold in the inner ring and continue the search. Where would the third inner ring stronghold be? The good doctor thought that he could save himself some time and use the magic of mathematics to answer this question. He recalled vague memories of the mechanics of structure generation in the block game, specifically that strongholds formed in rings around 0, 0. otherwise known as the origin. 3 points equally spaced around a circle will form an equilateral triangle between them. Surely he could use this property to triangulate the position of the next closest stronghold? He placed his trust in his maps, packed up his things, and set off once more in search of that glistening purple book. But was this calculation flawed? The good doctor traveled for over 1,000 blocks to reach his presumed destination. All seemed well once he arrived, but soon it became apparent that the stronghold was not anywhere close to where he had predicted. Had the divine language of mathematics failed him? The eyes kept pushing him further and further south, even telling him to leave the map he had been so confident the stronghold would lie upon. This was not what was supposed to happen. No, this was not supposed to happen at all. Were the eyes pointing him towards the second ring? It simply made no sense. Dr. Rock had an epiphany. He could not abandon his task now. He was dedicated to the noble cause of content creation. With a newly crafted map in hand, he pushed forwards, eventually locating the structure within an icy wasteland, submerged beneath a frozen river. Another failure. Books aplenty, but none with the mending enchantment. The good doctor forced himself to stumble and crawl back to base, where he might have a chance to lick his wounds. Somehow, this journey seemed so long. Upon consultation with the maps, coupled with a brief examination of information located in the font of all knowledge, the Minecraft Wiki, he realized his terrible mistake. How could he have been so naive? The rings are called thus for good reason. They did not occur as lines on a map. They existed as bands, regions. They had width. Their radial distances had ranges. It was a cruel act of fate. The first two strongholds located in his world appeared to lie on the very inner edge of the first ring. Oh, the humanity! This macabre twist! This deus ex machina! This ghost in the machine! The false sense of security was apparent for anyone to see. Even you, the viewer. If only you could go back in time and warn him. After applying the proper mathematical treatment to his map wall, it was clear that the stronghold just visited was also within the inner ring. Even worse, strongholds that generate in subsequent rings will be located much further away. Was the good doctor to travel all that way to fail once more? He decided to take control of his own fate. The lack of deserts in his world, at least discovered so far, which could otherwise offer a bounty of books in their temples, left only one option. He must cast his line into the water, pray to the gods of the seas, and hoped that he could retrieve a mending book from the depths below.
Oh, oh no, oh no, oh, binding, bind, mending and binding, ugh, oh no.
Oh, tragedy! Oh, what cruel twist of fate! What misfortune to befall the good doctor! A mending book coupled with curse of binding, the only item that could not be used for its intended purpose. Nothing could provoke more disappointment and sorrow. After hours upon hours, days upon days, what seemed like an eternity staring at the cold, dark, rippling water, fishing up trash, rods, bows, and many books of lesser worth, this was how the curtain fell. The doctor felt defeated. He sank back into his chair, his skin sallow and pitted. A face filled with despair. Just like Tantalus, he was doomed to never claim his prize. So, my dear viewer, what did you learn from today's tale of woe? There were no monsters slain. There were no damsels rescued. There is no lesson, no learning experience, no redemption arc, no hero's journey. This was just a story. Ask yourself, was it worth staring into the black mirror while the tale unfolded, catching brief reflected glimpses of yourself, pallid and hunched over? Is your life now more fulfilled than it was before? This is not for me to say, but please do not weep for Dr. Rock, for he has suffered setbacks before and will most certainly do so again. This is not the end. Oh no, dear friends, this is not the end at all. Like a phoenix from the ashes, the good doctor will rise again.